A quiet house, a locked door, and a girl standing on the edge of a choice that will shatter her world. In a few hours, her life will twist into something she never expected. But before everything breaks, before secrets rise like a storm, this is where the story of our Fault 2025 truly begins. The story starts with Noah arriving at her new home, trying to pretend she is fine with everything changing around her. Her mother has remarried a wealthy man, and now Noah has to live in a house that looks perfect on the outside but feels cold inside. She tries to adjust, but nothing feels natural. The halls are too silent, the rooms too neat, and her mother is trying too hard to act like their lives are suddenly better. Noah knows something is missing, something she cannot name, but she feels it like a quiet ache under her ribs. Everything shifts the moment she meets Nick, her new stepbrother. He walks in like he owns every space he touches, confident, careless, and carrying a trouble that follows him like a shadow. Their first meeting is awkward, sharp, and full of tension. Noah can sense he is hiding things, secrets in his eyes that he won't let anyone see. Nick does not try to be friendly, and he definitely does not try to make her feel welcome. Instead, he watches her with a strange mix of curiosity and warning, as if telling her without words, "Stay out of my world," but Noah cannot. The more she tries to settle into her new life, the more she notices small cracks around her. Arguments her mother pretends did not happen. Whispers behind closed doors. Nick leaving at odd hours and returning even later. Noah feels this house is holding stories no one wants to speak aloud. And even though she barely knows Nick, she feels he is the center of it all, like he is the storm waiting to hit her life. This is where everything begins. A new home, a new family, and a pull between two people who were never meant to cross paths. Noah does not know it yet, but her quiet arrival in this house will soon turn into a path filled with danger, desire, and choices that will mark both of their lives forever from the very next day. The air between Noah and Nick turns heavier, like the space around them is shrinking. Nick acts as if she is invisible, yet somehow he is always close enough to unsettle her. She finds him in the kitchen late at night, staring out the window as if waiting for something or someone to arrive. When she tries to speak, he answers with short, cool replies that end conversations before they even begin. But his eyes hold storms he refuses to explain. Slowly, Noah begins to notice the cracks in Nick's perfect, reckless mask. She sees the bruises he hides, the messages he deletes quickly, the sudden flashes of anger that pass through him when someone mentions his past. There is a story behind him, and the weight of it seems to follow him through every hallway in the house. Their first real spark happens during a family dinner. Noah tries to smooth the tension, but Nick pushes back on every word said at the table. His cold tone slices through the room, and her mother's new husband tries to control him, failing miserably. The dinner ends in silence, but Noah can feel something shifting. Nick is not simply rude or distant. He is fighting something inside himself, and she is slowly being pulled into it. Outside the house, things grow even stranger. Noah catches Nick meeting people who look dangerous, whispering things she cannot hear. He returns home with hands shaking, jaw tight, as if trying to swallow something dark. Noah tells herself she should stay out of his life, that he is nothing but trouble. Yet every time she sees him alone, broken for a brief second, she feels a pull she cannot fight. The distance between them begins to break when Nick steps in to protect her from a group of boys who try to corner her after school. His anger is sharp, wild, and real. Noah sees a side of him that is fierce, almost protective. But instead of thanking him, she demands answers he refuses to give. Nick turns away and warns her not to follow him, not to ask questions, not to care, but it's already too late. The danger around Nick has quietly reached Noah's world, and the line between them, already thin, is almost gone. Their lives are now tangled in ways neither of them is ready to face. The night everything finally snaps begins quietly, too quietly. Noah senses it the moment she steps into the house. The lights are dim, the rooms feel hollow, and there's a strange pressure in the air, like the house itself is holding its breath. Nick is missing. His phone is off. His room is torn apart, drawers pulled out, clothes scattered. Something has happened, and for the first time, Noah feels real fear crawl up her spine. When Nick finally returns, his face is bruised, his hands shaking, his shirt stained with something she doesn't want to believe is blood. He tries to walk past her, but Noah stops him. She demands the truth: no more silence, no more warnings, no more running. And for the first time, Nick breaks. His voice cracks as he admits he's been pulled back into a world he tried to escape. A world filled with people who don't forget old mistakes and definitely don't forgive them. He never wanted Noah anywhere near it, but now she already is. His confession shatters the last walls between them. Noah sees the boy behind the tough mask, the fear, the guilt, the doubt. Nick tells her about the trouble he caused years ago, the people he crossed, the danger now circling them both. He believes he deserves whatever is coming, but Noah refuses to accept that. She sees strength in him where he only sees failure. She sees someone worth saving, even if he can't believe it himself. Just when their guard drops, the threat strikes. A car stops suddenly outside. Heavy footsteps echo through the hall. The front door is forced open. Noah feels her heart stop as shadows enter the house. Nick pulls her back, whispering for her to stay quiet, stay hidden, stay alive. But she won't leave him, not now, not after everything. The confrontation is fast and chaotic. Voices rise, fists fly, and Noah watches Nick fight like a cornered animal, desperate to protect her. The moment teased at the start of the story finally erupts here, a moment where choices become weapons, and survival becomes the only goal. By the time the intruders flee, the house is destroyed, and Nick collapses to his knees, breathing hard, blood on his lips. Noah rushes to him, trembling, realizing just how close she came to losing him. And in that broken silence, one thing becomes painfully clear: nothing will ever return to normal. Their lives have crossed a line that cannot be undone. Morning arrives slowly, slipping into the ruined house like a shy apology. The fight is over, but the fear still lingers in every corner. Noah and Nick sit together in the quiet wreckage, bruised, exhausted, and unsure of what tomorrow will look like. For the first time, there are no walls between them, no hidden anger, no sharp words, no running. Only truth remains, raw and heavy. Nick finally admits he can't keep living like this, half in danger, half pretending he doesn't care. He tells Noah he tried to push her away to keep her safe, but all he ended up doing was dragging her deeper into his chaos. Noah listens, not with anger, but with a calm strength he has never seen in her before. She tells him the truth he refused to believe: he is not beyond saving. He is not the monster he thinks he is. What happened last night proved not his darkness, but his courage. Together, they decide that staying silent and hiding will only lead them back into the same danger. Nick must face the past he tried to bury. Noah refuses to let him do it alone. They speak with her mother and stepfather, revealing everything, every lie, every threat, every mistake. The confession tears open painful wounds, but it also brings something the family never had before: honesty. With help, Nick sets a plan to break free from the people who still hold power over him. It's not a clean journey, and it's not a safe one either, but it finally gives him a path toward a life where fear doesn't own him. Noah stands by him through every step, knowing their bond was forged in the hardest moments but strengthened by choice, not accident. Weeks later, the house is repaired. The bruises have faded. The nights are calmer. Nick is still carrying his past, but now he carries it with hope instead of shame. Noah watches him change day by day, choosing better, choosing himself, choosing them. Their story doesn't end in perfect happiness, but in something stronger: growth, courage, and a future shaped by their own hands. And that is the journey of Our Fault 2025, a story where two broken paths collide, break, and finally rebuild into something new.